How to Eat to Live, Book 1, by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Chapter 14, Overindulgence, the Enemy. Yes, a quick trip to the cemetery. If we indulge in too much of anything, it becomes an enemy to us. Remember at all times when you are eating that you are to live and not to die. As I have said previously in this book, white bread and cornbread are not good for our stomachs to digest. Regardless of how many hundreds and thousands of people eat this before you 3 times a day, it is still not the food for you and me to eat if we wish to live a long and healthy life. America's people consume more sweets than any other people on earth. They love their sweet, fat pies, cookies, and cakes at every meal. America has more bitter trouble with her health. Eating too many sweets piles up sugar in the blood, and it becomes the enemy of our lives. Our blood is our life. Just think of the way we destroy our lives by eating too many sweets or too much meat or eating white bread and cornbread. Ask yourself that question. America is a great candy seller. She reaps a harvest of wealth on just selling sweet candies and nuts. They fill the candy full of nuts, as well as their cakes, cookies, and other pastries. The only thing with stomach enough to digest nuts is an animal. Birds love nuts, and they have what it takes to digest them. Nature made them that way. Just as horses can digest corn and anything else in their line of food, birds, squirrels, hogs, coons, rabbits, and worms can digest nuts. They can eat nuts and digest them, and they will not wear out their stomachs like yours would wear out trying to digest them. A dog's stomach and his digestive juices are like any carnivorous eating animals. He can digest a rare steak. In fact, he can digest it as soon as he kills the animal. You do not have to cook their food. They do not like it cooked. They like their meat raw. That is the way nature made them, to take it raw. People, like the white people, who love dogs and other animals, change their way of eating so that it is against the very nature in which they were created to eat. You cannot make him a member of your family by sitting him at the table to eat good cooked food. He will live off it, but it is not the way nature made him to eat. Try offering him some raw meat and cooked meat. He will eat the raw meat before he will eat the cooked meat. Offer a cat a piece of raw fish and a piece of cooked fish, and see which she will eat first. Raw foods appeal to their appetites, as cooked food appeals to ours, but we can eat both. It is very dangerous for you, whose civilization is not limited, but is limited if you follow the limited ones, to follow a civilization made by nature for a short time in their ways. This is what we have been doing, and this is what we must stop doing if we expect to survive. There are hundreds of drugstores throughout the country into which we should not go for anything except first aid if we hurt ourselves down the street or road somewhere. not for something to stop aches and pains in our stomachs caused by eating the wrong food. We should not call the doctor for such foolish and ignorant mistakes as eating the wrong food and eating it too often. We should be ashamed to call the doctor for these errors. Eating the wrong food and eating it too often starts trouble in the physical body everywhere, from the sole of your feet to the crown of your head. As I said, you do not have to eat everything that people say is good to eat. It is a fool who does that. You do not need everything that is good to eat to live a happy life. Take some of those things that are good to eat. Of course, you should have a balanced diet. I certainly agree with you there. There are several ways you can prepare your meat and bread that will give you a sharp appetite at every meal if you prepare it differently. Bread can be cooked 2 or 3 times, and also meat. It is best for our stomachs and our longevity. They both should be cooked twice before eating. Of course, they will not look as fancy as when they are freshly cooked, because the more you cook them, the more the surface beauty fades away. But the more permanent your life will be, and that good old stomach will last a long, long time if you allow it to rest after a hearty meal, no matter how good the meal was or how easily digested. Give your stomach from 24 to 36 hours to rest to digest its food. And if you can take 48 hours or 72 hours, that is fine. But first, try 24 hours and then 48 hours next. Do not try to start with 48 and 72 hours. Get used to eating 1 meal a day. Then, when your appetite is not so strong for that next meal, by eating once every 24 hours, start eating every 48 hours. Never start 72 hours regularly until you are able to do so. Some of us have started eating every 48 to 72 hours and have to change back to 1 meal a day. This is not good to do. Fast 72 hours every now and then while you are eating once every day, if you want to, once a month, or once every 2 or 3 months. Never eat more than 1 meal a day unless you are sick and unable to eat the proper food due to the weakness of the body to carry you over 24 hours. Purchase the books, CDs, and DVDs of the life-giving teachings at store.finalcall.com. Listen to the messages of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan 24/7 at finalcallradio.com. Watch the Nation of Islam's weekly and live broadcasts at NOI.org.